It has been the custom since the earliest days of civilization to place things of great cultural value in a repository, the scale of which made their importance a matter of public knowledge. As man became more cultured with the passage of time, his art, his music, and the records of his achievements were housed in increasingly elaborate monuments as a celebration of the past and to create a record for the future. Only what was thought most valuable could be saved in this fashion. Artifacts, languages, indeed, whole civilizations perished, while the art of Rome, Greece, Egypt, China and the Renaissance was carefully preserved. The Great Library in ancient Alexandria, London's British Museum and the Louvre in Paris are affirmations in stone of the value man has always placed upon his culture. Each an institution carefully crafted to be of such obvious value to humankind that no foreign invader, no political despot, no wild revolutionary would dare plunder or despoil them. Valuable as it is, what we have inherited from the past is largely symbolic. Locked in stone or porcelain, imprisoned within the covers of ancient volumes, the thoughts, aspirations and desires of our forefathers are, for the most part, a mystery to us. What the chisel, brush and pen have left us give only fleeting glimpses of who our ancestors really were, silhouettes and shadows in the past without substance or form. We, on the other hand, can leave a living record of almost every facet of mankind's culture. Performance arts that before could be glimpsed infrequently and then through a veil of ethnicity can now be viewed at will and with utmost clarity. Sophisticated physical movement captured perfectly. Music and speech recorded with an uncanny degree of accuracy. Performers interviewed and their thoughts and ideas preserved forever. Tsunami as an organization exists to preserve for posterity the military arts of China, Japan and the Okinawan archipelago. Activities that date back to the beginning of time yet survive in the age of space travel. Arts that have been patronized by kings and emperors, disciplines that achieved their zenith at the beginning of this century, yet are destined to disappear as surely as the quarterstaff and battle axe if nothing is done to preserve them. Technology has given us the means to leave a record that will be seen, heard and experienced with the heart as well as the eye and the ear. The recipients of our work in the future will feel as we, were we able to witness the signing of Magna Carta, hear a concert by Beethoven, or Latin spoken as a living language. We have assembled the most talented and experienced martial artists in the world, writers, researchers and historians of international repute, directors and technicians from the cutting edge of digital media technology. Together they are creating a digital museum, a gallery of martial arts, a time capsule that will guarantee the preservation and safe transmission to the future of these important cultural artifacts. What follows is an example of our work to date, a small part of a growing collection that offers to practitioners, scholars, researchers and anthropologists a treasury of information, an educational resource without equal, a collection of art, music, history, language and martial culture that is, quite simply, unique. Morio Higaonna is considered the best qualified and most talented Goju-ryu karate practitioner alive today. A student of Anichi Miyagi, the last disciple of the style's founder, his unparalleled ability has earned him the respect and admiration of senior karate masters of all styles. In Power Training, the author demonstrates the methods and training techniques that develop Goju power, the combination of muscular strength and coordinated breathing that creates Chikara or spirit strength. There could be no better guide than Morio Higaonna on the path to the incredible, indeed superhuman physical and mental power of Goju-ryu karate. By using the ancient karate methods that were brought to a state of perfection by Chojo Miyagi, you too can develop the physical and mental benefits once reserved only for the professional karate instructor. A full 90 minutes of personal instruction by the Supreme Master of Goju-ryu that includes supplementary training with equipment, body conditioning, stamina and strength development, makiwara training, the practice and evaluation of sanchin, kata training, pre-arranged and free sparring, and a great deal more. The culture of the Ryukyu Islands is, to the west, largely unknown, and the work of generations of Okinawa musicians, writers and artisans, therefore, yet to be discovered. Its martial culture has, however, permeated that of the west to a point where references to karate are to be found in any modern dictionary, and the art itself is viewed as a common pastime that can be freely learned for a small fee. From Once a Secret, we learn that karate is much more than a sport or pastime. Shorin-ryu karate, as presented by Eiichi Ota, is in fact a complex physical, mental and spiritual activity that embraces the study of both armed and unarmed arts, and that has as its goal self-defense and self-improvement. The material shown in this program is superb, as one would expect from a student of the founder of the style, and the video has, as a result, won universal acclaim. Included are demonstrations of kata, weapons training and sparring, and a great deal more. Once a Secret contains some of the most breathtaking material you will see in any martial arts video, and the combination of images, music and narration are both inspirational and exhilarating. At the crossroads of karate history stands a figure of Kenwa Mabuni. A student of two of the greatest masters of this century, he combined their systems and by doing so created Shitoryu karate, one of the most widely spread forms of karate at the present time. The island of Budo, presented by Kenzo Mabuni, the son of the founder, and Hideharu Igaki, is a journey along the twin but parallel paths of historical and technical development within the Shitoryu system. It includes detailed sections on kata, the inner teachings of Kenwa Mabuni, historical footage, as well as much new information on instructors Chojo Miyagi, Goken Ki, and Gichi Funakoshi from a man who knew them all well. Almost a full hour long, the island of Budo reveals Shitoryu's innermost techniques and core concepts for the first time in any medium. The 5 principles of defense, the 8 directional response, and the 5 elbow striking methods all are shown here for the first time on video by Kenzo Mabuni. The presentation is made complete by demonstrations of kata Basai Dai, Shinsei, Chinte, Seipai, Juroku, Shiho Koso-kun, Rohai, Tensho and Seiyunchin, as well as the applications of many techniques. A program that is as satisfying as it is instructional, a product that we all should own. The two national US coaches combined their abilities and experience to produce this video for competitors needing to win at all levels of competition. Winning will teach you how to develop real strength, fitness and flexibility, how to cultivate an assertive attitude through correct training that will overwhelm an opponent, how to control and dominate larger, stronger fighters, and how to put together combinations that will intimidate any opposition. Fast moving, packed with techniques and modern teaching methods, winning will give you the confidence, ability and attitude to compete successfully at any level. Excellent slow motion photography, high production quality, and the total involvement of the authors in all stages of editing makes this video uniquely useful to the serious student. Winning will give you the training methods that coaches Marutani and Igaki have used to produce 8 US World Championship competitors and 4 of the 6 current national US champions. This second volume in the Winning series features Yukiyoshi Marutani, a 7-year veteran of the Japanese national karate team. His approach to the subject is physically forceful and extremely dynamic, but based upon sound principles of strategy and psychology. Specifically, he teaches the importance of strong stance and how it can be used to intimidate an opponent, the development of a winning attitude, the coordination of body movements, and of course his speciality, the sudden and deadly counterattack. This video reveals for the first time in the context of competition karate the practical application of Go-no-sen and Sen-no-sen. These fundamental principles of conflict, first recorded by the swordsman Miyamoto Musashi in his Book of 5 Rings, are the very essence of successful combat. Learning to attack the enemy as he considers action, or, in the instant he attacks you, guarantees success. Marutani is a master of the art of counterattacking. What he teaches will radically change your views on kumite and put you on the path to consistent success. Nothing is as devastating in competition or as difficult to perform really well as the kicking techniques of karate. Part 3 of the Winning series is an encyclopedia of kicks, performed from every position and in every situation by Hideharu Igaki, a US national karate coach and former professional kickboxer. The product of one of the most traditional dojos in Japan, Igaki's kicking techniques were battle-proven on the rigorous Japanese professional circuit. The 50 kicking techniques he demonstrates are effective for competition and self-defense, being powerful and penetrating, while remaining conservative and safe. The author shows how correct, systematic training creates a fluidity of movement and a balance between hand and foot techniques that is the hallmark of the successful fighter. A hallmark that he has passed on to the many students he has trained and coached at international level. This exquisitely produced program covers 90 years of history, telling as it does so the story of karate master Hironori Otsuka and the school of Wado-ryu karate that he founded. Lavishly illustrated with more than 50 historic photographs and lovingly embellished with the music of Masayuki and Michio Koga, The Way of Peace and Harmony by Yoshiaki Ajari is a blend of instructional and historical material that is without equal. This video is memorable for the more than 30 minutes of footage of Hironori Otsuka, in which he demonstrates basic techniques, Pinan 1 to 5, Kushanku, Naihanchi, Seishan and Kion Gumite 1 to 5. This unique visual record, transferred directly from the original film stock, is the best you will ever see and appears here for the first time exclusively. The historical value of this program is immense. It will be regarded as a milestone in karate research, a treasure that will be of interest to practitioners of all styles, including as it does material on Gichin Funakoshi, Choki Motobu, and other masters of karate. The Wado Ryu series continues with this technical masterpiece that blends the unique principles of the style with yet more excellent footage of the founder. The Wado Ryu principles of movement, taisabaki, ten-i, tengi, noru and nagashi are all described and demonstrated, as are the principles of combat enshrined in the concepts of Go-no-sen and Sen-no-sen. It should be noted that strict adherence to these principles, coupled with the unique training methods of Otsuka Sensei, have put Wado stylists on the winner's rostrum in the majority of championships held in Japan during the last 10 years. For the true enthusiast, the karate historian and the collector, the footage of Otsuka Sensei performing Chinto, Niseishi and Rawhai is priceless. Carefully transferred by a special process from the original movie film, the detail is sharp, the movement natural, and the colour truly remarkable. A presentation that maintains the quality of the first volume in the series, while delving further into the techniques and methods of the style, essential for all Wado Ryu instructors and students, as well as those expecting to compete against them. This valuable work on Okinawan weaponry by 10th Dan Master Shinpo Matayoshi is a perfect blend of technical instruction, history, and visual beauty. The lecture by the master, accurately given in English, is informative, detailed, and at times even humorous. The author demonstrates in detail the bow, tonfa, nunchaku, and eku, including basics, kata, and applications. Multiple cameras and excellent slow-motion photography are used to make even the smallest detail clear and easy to understand. One of the most remarkable demonstrations given by Matayoshi Sensei is of the two versions of White Crane Hakutsuru Kata, learned directly from the renowned Chinese master Go Kenki more than half a century ago. A video of unparalleled quality that offers material not available elsewhere. A profound martial arts experience. Our first program in this series by Shinpo Matayoshi concentrated on the wooden weapons of Okinawan Kobudo, the bow, tonfa, nunchaku. This second part deals with the weapons that are made of metal, such as the sai and nunti sai, or that incorporate metal in the form of a blade, such as the kama. Once again, the author delights us with his fabulous technique and remarkable teaching ability. Ability that comes from a lifetime of study with masters as notable as Chojo Miyagi, Go Kenki, and of course his father, Shinho Matayoshi. As with all Tsunami videos, advantage has been taken of the facilities that only the professional videographer has at his command. A professional studio, multiple cameras, excellent slow motion, and a full range of special effects make this video as easy to learn from as it is pleasing to watch. It is with special pleasure that we announce this first program from Tsunami Productions on the martial arts of China. Feeding Crane Kung Fu is an authentic White Crane style, preserved intact by 3 generations of the Liu family since its introduction into Taiwan by the 6th headmaster, Lin Tokujun, in 1927. A very powerful style of close quarters fighting, its origins lay in the Shaolin Temple of the early 17th century. Based on the 18 Shaolin Ahet fist method, it was developed into the distinctive style we see today by Queen Yang, the daughter of priest and kung fu master Fan Weishi. Inspired by the movements of the crane, it is one of the few Chinese schools to retain full combat effectiveness and is widely considered to be, if not the foundational style of Okinawan Goju-ryu, then certainly one of its principal components. Making public his family's art for the first time, Yu Changyi demonstrates the three basic cutters of feeding crane with their numerous applications. The sophistication and speed of his movement is such that extreme slow motion photography has been used to reveal the essential details of the techniques. What will stay in the mind of the viewers longest are the opening moments of this program, in which the history of the style is explored and its development chronicled and explained. The images and action are quite superb, and the demonstration by the author truly remarkable. A not to be missed experience, the very best material on any Chinese art to date. In 1924, with the help of Yasuhiro Konishi, a kendo instructor, Gichin Funakoshi's first permanent karate dojo was established in Tokyo's Keio University. The worldwide Shotokan movement with its membership of millions would grow from this single, seemingly unimportant act. It is no exaggeration to say that Yasuhiro Konishi's pioneering work built the foundation upon which Japanese karate was constructed. Bringing together Okinawan masters from many styles, against all odds, he won public acceptance for what was at that time viewed as the pastime of peasants, an activity far below the dignity of the common man on the mainland, let alone those descended from samurai stock. A contemporary of Kenwa Mabuni, Choju Miyagi, Choki Motobu and Morihei Ueshiba, with the assistance of the latter, Konishi developed his own style of karate, Shindojin Nenryu, the art presented here for the first time on video. Full of previously unpublished information and photographs from the Konishi family archive, this video presentation is further enhanced with demonstrations by the founder's son and one of his most senior students, Master Kiyoshi Yamazaki. It includes the history of the style's development, as well as demonstrations of the kata Shushi no Bo, Seryu, Pasai Dai, Taisabaki Shodan, Nidan and Sandan, with their applications. Konishi's work exerted a fundamental influence upon modern karate, especially the Shotokan, Wado and Shito schools, disciples of which will find this video essential viewing. At the end of the 19th century, young Okinawan men were often drafted into the Japanese army. To avoid this undesirable eventuality, a number of them, claiming to be students, journeyed to Fuchao in southern China. They eventually returned to their homeland, not with a knowledge of Chinese language or culture, but with a mastery of the unarmed fighting methods of that ancient civilization. Initially reluctant to teach non-Chinese, Xu Shiwa, a master of tiger boxing, was finally persuaded by the persistence of his young Okinawan student that he was a suitable candidate for instruction. The knowledge that was transmitted from master to student would make Kanbun Uechi one of the most influential karate masters of his generation and lead to the development of the style that we now refer to as Uechi Ryu. As a senior student of Saburo Uehara, Shinryu Gushi is only one generation removed from the founder of his style. His karate is of the old time, the art that existed before the influence of competition was felt. Karate for serious self-defense only. Karate that teaches its followers to take punishment as well as dispense it. To develop a mental state so intense and so focused that it is enough to gaze into the eyes of a master for an opponent to realize the likely outcome of a physical confrontation. In this, his first appearance on video, Shinyu Gushi presents a comprehensive view of his art, including the primary exercise, Sanshin. His performance of this kata is quite extraordinary and shows very clearly why a demarcation exists between old and new karate, as well as precisely where it lies. As any experienced Okinawan teacher will tell you, basic techniques are taught in the many dojos that dot the island. Advanced techniques and martial traditions are transmitted in the backyards of senior teachers. Yamani Ryu is a perfect example. The most aristocratic and sophisticated of the Okinawan weapon arts, this creation of Chinnen Umikana is currently taught by only 4 senior instructors, and until now at least, never openly. This first public presentation of Yamani Chinnen Ryu Bojutsu includes demonstrations of all static and moving techniques, the unique footwork sequences, and the kata Tsurugi no Kun, Chuo no Kun, Shoandai, and Ruby no Kun. Included also are the Kumibo combat techniques that are the speciality of this school. The Yamani Ryu techniques are dynamic, practical, and elegant. Toshihiro Oshiro is completely fluent in his performance of them. Unlike other forms of Bojutsu, the movements are dynamic and flowing. This allows the performer to react with devastating effectiveness to attacks of any type from any direction. Tsunami Productions is proud to present the teachings of Yamani Chinnen Ryu Bojutsu for the first time in any form by the leading instructor of his generation. At the birth of our century, Itosu Anko, a legendary master of the art, devised a method of safely instructing school children in karate. He emphasized its health-giving rather than its destructive properties, and changed teaching methods to make group instruction possible. From this concept of martial arts for education grew the karate movement as most of us now know it. Some karate groups, however, resisted this modern approach strenuously. Kanryo Higaono of Nahate only made one concession to modernity. He closed the previously open hands in Sanshin. Other schools embraced what they viewed as progress ardently and dropped many of their traditional training methods, particularly those designed to develop strength and stamina. As time passed, the meaning of the kata and the ability to perform them properly became lost to many. The old kata did not die out completely, however. In small private dojos, the traditional ways were valued highly and rigidly maintained. Students were taught individually each movement of the kata, and its true purpose was thus preserved. The study of kata has been the passion of a lifetime for Toshihiro Oshiro. What he presents for us here are the true kata of Okinawan karate, performed in the manner their originators intended. Stripped of the theatrical gestures and grotesque movements that have become so common of late, they are the very embodiment of this ancient and most effective fighting system, and therefore, the way that it should be both preserved and disseminated. Part 1 of this series confirmed its author's position as one of karate's greatest living masters. It also created a demand for more from Oshiro sensei but is satisfied by the release of his second excellent volume. Against the background of the historical development of karate kata, the author demonstrates Passai, Wanshu and Rohai. As before, his performance is flawless. This is followed by a unique demonstration of Makiwara training methods which unlocks the secrets of the stopping power for which he is so famous. To conclude, he shows two sai kata, Kaian no sai and Kishaba no sai, with a virtuosity that is unrivaled. Even in extreme slow motion, the weapons move at incredible speed, but under the total control of this matchless weapons expert. A fitting sequel to its predecessor, which it surpasses in every way. This brand new series by Morio Higaonna sets the standard for the presentation of technical material. The viewer cannot fail to benefit from this instructor's immense ability and experience, as he explains precisely and in great detail exactly how each kata should be performed. Nobody can do it better than Higaonna, and never has it been better presented than here. Part 1 presents Seipai and Saifa, the Goju-ryu kata mandatory for international competition. According to the author, he has never taught these in such depth before, a statement supported by the amount of information presented and its highly detailed nature. Both kata are performed at full speed and in excellent slow motion. A thorough explanation is given of each movement, then the applications are demonstrated in detail. Part 2 deals with the signature kata of Goju-ryu, Sanchin. An historical sketch of the development of Sanchin is given, which includes demonstrations of the kata by Liu Chang-yi and Shinyu Gushi. This is followed by the most detailed and lucid explanation of Goju-ryu Sanchin ever given by the man who is regarded as its greatest living exponent. The quality of content and production in the first two parts of this 5-part series are exceptional. No effort has been spared to make these not only the most informative videos on the subject, but also the most visually satisfying. Parts 3, 4 and 5 will follow in due course to complete this Goju-ryu masterpiece. In part 3 of this series, Morio Higaonna demonstrates in great detail the constituent parts of the Goju-ryu syllabus. Although described as basics, many of the techniques he shows are in fact quite rare, and while apparently simple in their execution, are in reality very difficult to perform correctly. This 50-minute show includes 22 striking, 10 kicking and 29 blocking techniques, reflex training, evasion methods, close quarters fighting and grappling, as well as nerve holds and strikes. In part 4, the author examines in great detail the fundamental kata Gekisai Daichi and Gekisai Daini and their applications. This is followed by detailed demonstrations at full speed and in slow motion of Seiunchin, Shisoshin and Kururunfa. As with all volumes of this excellent series, multiple cameras and computer-generated slow motion sequences are used, so that every detail of the movement can be seen from a variety of carefully chosen angles. This landmark technical series concludes with Volume 5, in which the author's legendary technical ability is demonstrated to great effect. His presentations of Seisan, Superenpei and Tensho are without equal and provide the standard by which performance should be measured. Also included are dynamic demonstrations of kata applications with a partner in the kakie form, part of the style's rich Chinese heritage and a primary reason for its effectiveness in close quarters fighting and grappling. This 5-volume series, together with the power training video by the same author, is the only reference work you will ever need to Go-Juryu Karate. This 2-part series is a perfect example of a product that satisfies everyone from beginner to expert. The viewer cannot fail to be captivated by the powerful demonstrations of the world's leading karate masters, interwoven with the history of karate and the development of its major styles. Part 1 is an overview of the various schools of karate, their attributes and how they developed. Part 2 is a detailed look at ancient systems, specifically Go-Juryu and Uechi-ryu, how they differ from modern forms, and why they fascinate people to this day. Painstakingly documented with classical film footage and rare photographic images from the 19th and early 20th centuries, this is undeniably the most complete and accurate work of its type ever presented. The name of Shoshi Nagamine is synonymous with Okinawan karate. For more than 70 years, he was a participant in and an observer of the metamorphosis of karate from a savage, semi-secret fighting art to a physical and spiritual discipline. A student of the legendary masters of the 1920s and 30s, as an instructor, author and historian, Nagamine Sensei dedicated his life to the preservation and promotion of karate. With the same determination, his son and successor, Takayoshi Nagamine, has recently completed Matsubashi Ryu Karate, the first in a video series dedicated to the art founded by his illustrious father. This program traces the history and technical background of the style by means of historic images and film footage. We see the early days when Nagamine Sensei was a student of Arakaki, Kaian and Motobu, the difficult post-war years, and the flowering of the art when it embraced a practice of Zen. Beautifully produced and packed with fascinating information, the classical film footage of kata and bunkai from the 1950s and 60s makes this an essential reference work for students of all styles of karate. The apparent invulnerability of Pangai Noon exponents is due in part to traditional training methods using special equipment. Volume 5 of the Pangai Noon series is a comprehensive review of these traditional methods, which includes exercises to improve flexibility and stamina, the use of the makiwara and training jars, finger conditioning with stones, and the test breaking of hard objects to evaluate progress. Shin Yuguchi has made a lifelong study of this aspect of karate since he began training with Kane Uechi and Saburo Ehara half a century ago. He is considered one of the leading experts on the subject, and in this beautifully produced video shares his extensive knowledge unselfishly with the viewer. Many of the excellent video productions of this Tokyo-based studio are now available in North America exclusively from Dragon Associates Inc. The official media representative of the Japan Karate Federation, Champ produces programs noted for the extreme technical quality of their content. Specially re-edited for the US market, the first Champ video releases from Dragon include the complete kata of Hayashi Hashitoryu Karate and Kobudo, featuring Teruo Hayashi Sensei. The complete kata of Ryuei-Ryu Karate with Suguo Sakamoto. Orthodox Shitoryu Kata, presented by Toyo University. And the complete kata of Wado-Ryu Karate from the faculty of the Wado Kai in Tokyo. The worldwide success of the Japan Karate Association's Best Karate book series prompted that organization to produce a companion video collection. Professionally produced in Japan at great expense and using the best JKA instructors, it was considered by Masatoshi Nakayama to be one of his greatest achievements. The Mark video series offers Shotokan enthusiasts a permanent visual record of their art being performed by its most technically capable exponents. In this official English language edition, for the first time, they can also listen to detailed explanations of movement and technique by the man who did most to make Shotokan Karate the international movement it is today. Masatoshi Nakayama's students created the international Shotokan movement. His teachings, as shown in his video series, must therefore be regarded as the foundation upon which Shotokan Karate was built. Available as an 11-part series of 9 30-minute and 2 20-minute videos, this collection is not simply a guide to Shotokan Karate, but its ultimate reference work. All 11 tapes, when purchased as a set, cost just $379.45, a saving of $50. Japanese Masters of Karate is a documentary-style presentation filmed on location in Europe and Japan that includes action footage of the world's leading instructors. This program has strong audience appeal as a result of the numerous styles covered and the many internationally famous instructors shown. In several cases, this is the only visual record available of particular teachers, adding greatly to the value of this wide-ranging and enjoyable program. With a running time of 55 minutes, Japanese Masters is a feast of traditional karate served up in a fast-moving format. The influence of Shotokan karate instructors Hirokazu Kanazawa and Keinosuke Enoeda has put European competitors and instructors consistently at the forefront of the worldwide Shotokan movement. A less well-known but equally important influence on European Shotokan has been exerted by JKA instructor Masao Kawasori. His strict orthodoxy created a standard of practice in English dojos that has been compared favorably with the JKA's own instructors course. His technical standards for kata and kumite are those upon which the practice of Shotokan in his country of adoption are based. Kawasori Sensei's video series, Beginner to Black Belt, has been universally praised even by senior instructors of other styles. Described as a textbook of Shotokan technique, it is an authoritative guide to the highest levels of the Shotokan method, as well as a most appropriate showcase for the near-perfect technique of its author. The 4 segments offer a logical and progressive course of instruction. Part 1 deals with stance, movement, warming up, and detailed instruction in Kion Kata and Heion Shodan. Part 2 features striking and kicking methods, one-step sparring, and Heian Nidan, Yondan, and Godan. In the third part of the series, the author introduces training with a bag, Teki Shodan and Basai Dai, as well as semi-free fighting. The last segment of the Beginner to Black Belt video series is dedicated to the kata Jion, Empi, Kankudai, and Hangetsu, as well as advanced stretching exercises designed to enhance high-level performance. Each component of this professionally produced set costs $30. The running time for part 1 is 45 minutes, and for parts 2, 3, and 4, 30 minutes. Apart from being the only program to offer all 12 Goju-ryu kata, this video, filmed by Japanese TV in 1980, has considerable archival value. Morio Higon is the most respected Goju-ryu exponent in the world, and here we see the foundation upon which that reputation is based. When one views his performance of the kata, it is not difficult to understand why his Tokyo dojo at Yoyogi was a mecca for karate instructors of every style. Smooth, incredibly powerful, and technically perfect, he is the very Goju-ryu karate. Remastered from the original 16mm film stock and re-edited by Tsunami Productions, this is a no-nonsense guide to Goju-ryu kata that will prove invaluable to students and instructors alike. Featuring Morio Higaonna, Fumio Demura, and Eihachi Ota, Martial Arts TV is a 30-minute show that was originally broadcast on cable systems and by satellite across the US. By means of interviews and demonstrations by these famous masters, it traces the development of karate from its roots on the Chinese mainland to the international prominence it enjoys today. This historic film was made in the early 60s but never before released. It features some of the most prominent kendo instructors of the period and includes sections on equipment, etiquette, basic techniques, point scoring, and kendo no kata. The demonstration of Omori Ryu Iaido by Masami Tanaya 8th Dan will be of special interest to the more advanced student. The documentary format presents the information in a logical fashion that is interesting and easy to follow. With a running time of 25 minutes, this is a time capsule for kendo students and instructors that gives a clear view of the techniques of an earlier age. excellent video presents the training and combat methods of the legendary Okinawan karate master Choki Motobu, demonstrated by his son Chosei. Widely believed to have been lost in the aftermath of the last Great War, the teachings of Choki Motobu were carefully preserved in the Daidokan Dojo Osaka by Chosei Motobu and Takeji Inaba, to be revealed here for the first time to Western students of karate. They are as direct, practical and effective as the martial arts genius who developed them, and comprise the two Naihanchi kata, the trademark forms of the Motobu family, as well as the 12 true fighting methods referred to as Jiyu Hon Kumite. These bear the hallmarks of the desperate personal encounters from which they were developed, and are the height of efficiency in a self-defense capacity. This landmark video also includes a history of the style and its founder, featuring much previously unpublished material supplied by his family. This technical presentation on the Matsubashi style of karate is designed to be used with a textbook of the style, The Essence of Okinawan Karate. Part 2 of the series deals with the basic kata, Fukugata 1 and 2, Pinan 1 to 5, and Naihanchi 1 to 3. These are demonstrated by Takayoshi Nagamine, the current headmaster of the style, who also explains the finer point of the kata and their bunkai with the help of instructors Makishi and Taira. A solid reference to this widespread and internationally respected karate method, as well as an attractive training aid, this video must be considered essential viewing for all classical karate enthusiasts. The Goju-Ryu Technical Series by Morio Higaonna has been internationally acclaimed not simply for the quality of its content and production, but also for the archival resource that has been created by its publication. Volume 6 adds to the series a highly detailed study of the kata sansuru, which includes the manner of its correct performance, how it should be taught, the static and dynamic applications, and the most common faults and their eradication. A wonderfully well-produced program that concludes an excellent series on a high note. As instructor to many famous karate pioneers, the diminutive Chotoku-kyan was the patriarch of the Okinawan Shorin-ryu karate movement, yet little is known of the art he taught his students. Foremost among these was Zenryo Shimabukuro, who passed what he learned from the master to his son Zenpo, the current guardian of the karate of Chotoku-kyan and its chief exponent. This video shows all the kata of Kyan Sensei, performed with a grace and power it is difficult to describe. Clearly, Chotoku-kyan was a formidable karate master, as well as a shrewd and intelligent individual who trusted his treasure to those most capable of preserving it. As an instructor in the 1920s at the legendary Toyama Army Officers Academy, and a veteran of the Nampo Kirikomitai, special attack force that went into battle in World War II armed only with swords, Taizaburo Nakamura is recognized as one of Japan's greatest living swordsmen. In this comprehensive video, he shows the basic techniques, kata, kumite, and cutting methods of the Nakamura school of swordsmanship developed by him after a lifetime of practical experience and serious research. An excellent resource for anyone interested in swordsmanship in general, the Nakamura Toyama Ryu schools in particular.
The Dragon Associates website features everything from fast-breaking news to a martial arts tour, information on the latest videos, to back issues of Dragon Times and Fighting Arts magazine, information you can depend on from the best instructors and martial arts writers in the world. Visit us on the World Wide Web at www. Dragon-Tsunami.org. Dragon Associates, 1968.